Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And even though this is a day late because I forgot to even read the chapter, but I'm back for another My Hero Academia manga chapter review for you guys. And this is the manga chapter we've actually been waiting, I believe, for the past 2 weeks, which is manga chapter. No, no. That was last week's chapter, but this is manga chapter 263. And this manga chapter is titled I Want to Be With You Guys. So this manga chapter was actually really good, and it really focused on Kaminari this episode. This was well, not this episode, what am I saying? This chapter. It was a Kaminari focused chapter, and I think as next week, which will be next Sunday, progresses, that will further his battle against the guy he's up against. So anyways, the chapter starts off with Mineta essentially saying, he's not even prepared and stuff like that because everyone's telling him, look, it's time. You need to get ready, get going. Sero tells him, dude, stop messing around. Get up right now. So then one of the pro heroes, tells them it's about to start, or it's starting. So Jiro actually uses her earphone jacks, plugs them into the ground, and she states that the other heroes are on the move. But essentially, one of the pro heroes says that really the operation has brought all the heroes together, and that right now we can't relax because essentially, that means they're essentially preparing for war because right now those guys are going to war. All the heroes are going to war. Now it gets to a nice little panel where it shows Momo, Soji, Sero, Ayama, Kirishima, Sato. Basically, the Class 1A group. They also have Invisible Girl there too, and essentially, they all know that they have to face this threat together. Now, Jiro talked a little bit, and she's like, she's not too worried about Tokoyami, but she's worried a little bit about Kaminari. Now, it cuts to Kaminari essentially saying he wants to be with, I get Jiro and the others where they were at, because he's on the front lines. And essentially, Midnight tells him, look, you knew what you were getting into. You knew what you're signing up for. It's Midnight says, look, we need your quirk. And, essentially, she kind of motivates or trying to kind of pushes Kaminari. And we get kind of a nice side of Midnight that we typically don't see because, and all we see in Midnight, she always flaunts around well, obviously she is one of the hottest looking characters in the series, but she flaunts herself around like she's kind of like a model, and she looks really self-centered, and she sounds self-centered too. But this is where we kind of get a nice little thing from Midnight, where she's kind of she knows that this is a dangerous thing, and that they are putting the kids out on the front line, and she knows that it's dangerous, and people can lose their lives, but she knows you got to stick with your guns and really fight and stuff like that. And essentially she's she really tells him think of it as you helping us adults because some of us adults won't know what it has to take on you guys. Now, above all that, talking between Midnight and Kaminari, there's this really amazing shot of all the heroes essentially rushing the Meta Liberation Forces, mansion. Now, it cuts to, obviously Tokoyami, he's on the front lines with Kaminari, and he sees Kaminari freaking out. And Tokoyami's look, I watched you learn something playing the guitar. And he calls Kaminari amazing. Now, Kaminari kind of shows this, oh, come on, you're not being, don't be like that. You're just trying to praise my skill, and it's not really helping me. Now, Cementos, he's open up. And essentially uses his cement powers to essentially, essentially like really like warp the mansion area. Now one of the villains are like, yo, the conference is canceled, get everybody to come here right now because we need backup right now. And essentially he calls the violet and black regiments to the front office. Now they also do call the brown regiment, which is essentially, those were, if you guys remember, those were the little team groups that the Meta Liberation Front has, and stuff like that. Now the one guy, I need to remember his name, but the guy with the cigar who Kaminari later stops his shocking abilities, he essentially is like, let's shake things up. Now we get this huge, beautiful panel of what Cementos is doing. And essentially, that same guy who's walking, he's like essentially saying, see, this is what happens when we're waiting for Shigaraki to get ready. And, he basically was like, look, let's just start fighting right now. Why wait for Shigaraki when we can do this thing right now? So then the heroes understand it's time to fight now. And essentially, the villains are like, okay, for the Liberation Revolution, essentially. Now, in a few panels, they show a few of the guys they have to go up against. They show Toga in one panel, and then they show Dabi in another panel, while guys are just rushing to the battle. And essentially, it cuts back to what the heroes are doing. Edgeshot is like, look, we can't not let anybody escape. They have been trained. They obviously know that they're going to fight for their cause, and they're ready, and they're going to give their lives. He's like, essentially, he's like, don't let any of them out, because then they can be able to hurt other people and make a terrorization. Now, it goes back to Kaminari, and Kaminari is like freaking out. He's freaking out. Like, the dude's losing his cool. Like, back when Kirishima lost his cool in his backstory, and even when he's going up against Rappa, at that part when he starts freaking out. And then now Midnight comes on him, and she's like, look, come on, let's go. Don't let this, war right now. Don't let this stage overwhelm you, and, keep pushing on. And she says, she says, like, imagine, and this is her, I'm going to read the quote word for word. And she says, if imagining random people elsewhere doesn't do the trick, then think of the person who matters most to you right now. So essentially, Midnight was telling, Kaminari, look, I know you're stressing out. I know you're scared. I know you're afraid. But listen, if you can't fight for somebody, just randomly, think about the one person you care about, that means most to you right now, and give that reason why you're fighting. So then Kaminari, he's like, right now, and then he stops for a bit, and then he looks back. He looks back where the hero's running in. He looks through the jungle, and then it cuts to Jiro. And Jiro says, like, get it done, Charge Bolt. And he looks, and then, I think this is kind of where we get confirmation, if not, because they've always hinted at this, especially even in the current arc now, a few episodes ago, where the anime is doing. I think this is where they kind of, I guess, confirmed / I guess give a hint that Kaminari and Jiro possibly have feelings for each other, because like I said, back in, the school festival arc, Kaminari was the guy that kind of pushed Jiro to do the whole concert festival thing at the school festival. And, she made her do it because he encouraged her. And it's like, well, when I was reading this like a few hours ago, I was like, so is Horikoshi kind of confirming that Jiro and Kaminari kind of have a thing going on, or Kaminari and Jiro have some sort of feelings towards one another? Because for the longest time, it was like, they kind of have like these, obviously, all the girls, and well, not all the girls, but, well, actually, all the girls in Class 1A, with the exception of Toru, or Hogakure, to an extent, they all have some boy in Class 1A who's paired up with. Ochako's paired up with Deku. That's the love interest between them. A lot of people, have a shipping between Momo and Todoroki, from the stuff from season 2. yeah, from the series. Other people, recently in season 4, I guess you can make a case that Mina and Kirishima have some sort of feelings towards one another. They've had like some kind of, I guess, shipping moments where you can be like, maybe you could see Mina and Kirishima possibly together. Um, Hagakure, she kind of doesn't really, well, it's implied like she likes who's the tail guy? I can't think of the tail guy. The guy who looks like Luke Skywalker. Um, Ojiro. Hagakure. I guess to some extent they kind of ship her with Ojiro because in a few scenes they have like I guess some shipping moments, and then which would leave Jiro as like one of the last well one of the two other girls other than Sue with I guess a possible love interest. So obviously they give. I'm guessing like I said. I guess this is a confirmation a bit to the extent that Jiro and Kaminari like have some sort of feelings about each other and the fact that they really care about each other a lot. So I just took it from that. I don't know how you guys will interpret it. I think it's kind of cute. Honestly, you could really see the two working out because if anything, Kaminari, if there was any girl in class 1 he was paired with, it was always with Jiro. Even back in season 1. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry, guys. I was actually calling my friend the Red Wolf. If you haven't checked out my My Hero Academia reviews, who always is on. He's actually uploading My Hero Academia episode 21 for me because I cannot access it at the time right now. So he's helping me with that. So I also expect that episode review to be up tonight as well. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, it's like they always have some sort of girl shipping. So right now, I guess you can say to the extent of Hagakure, literally almost every class 1A girl has some sort of shipping person. I think it's really cute that I like I said, I think the Jiro Kaminari relationship, I think that thing's pretty cute. Now, anyways, moving on from that, going back to the main villain of this chapter, he's like, essentially like, look, I don't care. Your numbers don't matter. And essentially he's like, look, I'm going to crank up my volts and I'm going to shock essentially the hell out of you guys and show you that I'm all powerful and this thing is crazy. Now, Kaminari, he looks upset and he looks angry. Now, it focuses back to Tokoyami, and Tokoyami is like, look, Kaminari, I know you know now, essentially. And it cuts back to a flashback scene when they were playing the guitar. I'm guessing this takes place back at the school festival mini arc they had. And essentially, Kaminari's like, let's keep practicing a little longer. And he's like, and Kaminari says like that Jiro, she acts all shy and awkward, but she knows like her instruments and stuff like that. And essentially, now Tokoyami, he says like, well, you obviously care deeply about your friends. And I'm not saying Kaminari doesn't care about his other friends. He obviously does. But it goes to show that he does care possibly a lot about Jiro because he looks at Jiro some sort of way, like as somebody that he can I guess relate to and wants to see succeed, as well as that drive from like any other anime character who has some sort of person that they feel that pushes them on. Now the villain uses this attack called Supreme Discharge Thundernet. And I believe in this panel, which is the second to last page, he realizes like, wait, my attack, it's getting absorbed, and then Kaminari comes in and he's like, and he has his hand pointed up and he's like, guess what, you commander dude, let's do this thing. And he says, let's mop up the floor with the others real quick. and and essentially like let's not let the guys get the guys behind. Let's not worry. Essentially, he absorbs the dude's attack. So essentially, Kaminari has his moment. Obviously, he might go up against this guy and he even get even a better moment to shut down this guy. But obviously, because of Kaminari's electric powers, he can absorb this dude's powers. So he's kind of a neutralizer to this guy. Kaminari gets his moment. So I guess you can check mark another Class 1A character who looks like it was irrelevant finally gets their moment now. And Kaminari had smart little moments here and there, but this is the one time where he gets his, his big Kirishima-like moment where, the pressure's getting to him, but he steps up to the pressure and he knows what he's got to do to help, and he's doing that. And when I saw this, like, Kaminari, let's go. I'm like, Horikoshi keeping every Class 1A character relevant like he always does. It doesn't matter. They don't just focus it on Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. They've spread it equally amongst every classmate. That's what I loved about Heroes Rising, the movie. That's what I love about this series. Every character in Class 1A always gets one shining moment. Even if it's the littlest bit, they always get at least one shining moment. And, this is Kaminari's big moment. And this is one of the few times where one of the side characters get those big moments where they impress. So obviously, a lot of people who are, especially for you Kaminari fans, you probably like it a lot. Now, the last two panels of the chapter, I don't know, I think this is Twice saying it, and he's like, what the heck's going on here? And essentially things are crumbling and stuff like that. Rubbles is making. And then in the cutscene, we see this dark silhouette with what looks to be two katanas, and it focuses on his face. And then we see Twice on the ground saying like, huh? And he looks all shocked, and there's these feathers around him. Now, the silhouette, obviously, and even the eyes, obviously it's Hawks. It's obviously Hawks. It's just, when I was first reading it, I'm like, who is this? And then it's like, Hawks. Because even if you look in and you zoom in on the silhouette, you can obviously see like little wings, obviously, so he used his wings. And now I'm guessing, Hawks made an upgrade now, where now he's got, because as you remember from the chapter when, Endeavor went up against the High and Nomu, Hawks, joined the fight, but he almost was out of his, wings because of that, and they almost ended up literally dying. But it's looking like Hawks now has katanas as, a backup. But heck, even looking at it more, it's looked like those swords are actually feathers, like sharp feathers and stuff like that. And obviously, like when you zoom in on the eyes, you can see a little bit on the right, the fur from his little jacket, and you can see essentially his goggles. And essentially, like I said, Twice looks shocked, and that's when the manga chapter ends, and the manga chapter won't hit till March 15th, which is next Sunday. Now, as for a quick update for next Sunday, we'll see if I'll make the manga chapter review, because if you actually didn't check out my Pokemon review I just uploaded a few minutes ago, like I said, I'm here in California for the spring break. Sunday, March 15th is actually when I head back. If I have time in my schedule, I'll make the review back in my dorm room. So, expect that. But this chapter is heating up. So it goes from, what's going on at that hospital where they're chasing down the doctor to what's going on at the mansion now. So obviously I think the next few chapters will be a continuation of what's going on in the chapter, in the mansion. Obviously, I think we'll see Hawks be revealed, and he'll give an explanation to Twice, like, why is he doing what he's doing? And he'll say, like, oh yeah, I was just playing you guys. I'm a double agent. So obviously the manga is progressing, and it's going to be interesting to see where this war arc is going to be going. Still no sign of Deku. I think they'll cut to Deku eventually and see what they're doing. Obviously, his routine is evacuate the people, but obviously we know he's going to get into somebody's going to fight. And like I said, some people have been predicting that, He might get his float powers. I think he will activate his float powers. This in a battle he'll have, and he'll just not realize it. Or he'll realize it, but he won't know how to control it like he did with his black whip. But obviously, it's obviously going into some dangerous territory. Looking like Kaminari is going to get into a fight with this commander in one of the paranormal liberation fronts. So we'll see. Obviously, this manga chapter was really good. It left us off on a really crazy cliffhanger, and I can't wait for next Sunday. So other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. This has been Camber15. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you want to hit the comment section and give your thoughts about this chapter, I guess your thoughts on a confirmation of the Kaminari Jiro ship, and what's your thoughts on not Kirishima, Kaminari's big moment in this chapter. Other than that, like I said, if you're a My Hero Academia fan, the Red Wolf, my friend, is actually uploading episode 21 of season 4, which was this past Saturday, which was Deku versus Gentle Criminal. He's uploading that, so that will probably go up to the channel. The moment that goes up to the channel, I'll be uploading this video. So you guys got 3 videos today if you check out my Pokemon review. So other than that, I'm going to get out of here. This has been Camber15. Hopefully you guys have a great day, night, or whenever you're checking out this video. Other than that, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.